Welcome back to Success with Steven. My name is Steven Smith, and today we're going to be discussing the removal of late payments once again, but I wanted to give an updated version to my original video. In my original video, I was showing you how you can compare two different credit reports where, let's say, one showed that you were 30 days late on June 2024. The other one might show that you're paid on time for June 2024 for like Experian and TransUnion. How you can use both of those to screenshot that and send it to the credit bureau so that they'll update it. But I had someone ask me, what do you do if all of the credit bureaus are reporting the same information accurately? Well, there's another way that we can still dispute that account, even if the credit bureaus are reporting accurately from all of the accounts. And I'm going to show you a few different ways that we can approach this. And I'm going to show you from at least a few different examples. And then I'll also give you some verbiage that you can use. And I'll give you an example of what you would do with round 1 and round 2 by sending this off to the CFPB. All right. So we're going to start by going to Experian. If you want to get all 3 of your credit reports completely free, go to annualcreditreport.com. You can get your credit reports free once per week. Now, keep in mind, if you are in dispute with TransUnion, TransUnion will not allow you to see your credit report while you are in dispute. So if you can't get TransUnion, grab Equifax and grab Experian. And then the TransUnion report, you can make an account online. You might be able to see it there. TransUnion's a little bit iffy with that. But, just be aware that if you're currently in dispute, you can't look at your TransUnion report from annualcreditreport.com. All right, so I have an old account pulled up here as an example. And for this account, it is 30, 60, 90, 120, and 120 days late again, repeatedly. Now, I'm going to show you how we can dispute this account, even though we may not have another account to compare it to, and what you can actually say in order to get this late payment removed from this account. Now, you can contact the credit bureaus, Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax, and you're going to tell them something along the lines of, you would like to dispute this account because it was paid on time. Now, of course, the account was not paid on time, but we are going to be disputing it with them and letting them know that it was indeed paid on time. You only want to dispute no more than 2 at one time. Look at the payment summary. Look at it. Only try to dispute 1 at a time. And here's my recommendation. Start with the 30-day. Start by disputing the 30-day late payment. If you have only a 30-day, then that's the only one that you can dispute. But if you're in this type of situation where you have a 30, a 60, a 90, and beyond, start with the 30-day, dispute that one by itself. Here's why. If we dispute this 30-day and we get this 30-day updated, that automatically makes 60, 90, 120, and 120 wrong. So once the 30-day gets updated, you can ask the credit bureaus to update 60 and 90, because there can't be a on-time payment, then 60, then 90. That would be inaccurate. So you can then ask 2 at a time. And then if this is paid on time, and this is paid on time, and this is paid on time, then we can ask them to update July and August, respectively, right? Because that would just make sense. Once the 30-day is fixed, it gives us the perfect ammunition to get these other ones updated, because one 30-day late payment being updated makes every other late payment inaccurate. Now, in that situation, you have other options as well. Let's say that the payment gets updated on Experian, where 30 days is paid, but then on TransUnion, it doesn't. You can then even screenshot this information, even though it's inaccurate, right? You can still screenshot with April 2022 or whatever the year and date is paid, and you can send that to TransUnion and show them, hey, my Experian credit score shows that this was indeed paid on time. Or do the same thing with Equifax. The great thing is, once you start getting one updated, you can start playing them against each other to get the rest updated until eventually everything is updated. This process will work. It's just tedious. It takes a lot of time. If you try to do multiple late payments at the same time, more than likely it will get rejected and it'll come back verified. The older it is, the better it is. But you want to make sure that when you do this process, again, you're only doing no more than 2 at a time. My recommendation is always attack the 30-day if you have a lot of them. And if you just have one 30-day and the rest are paid on time, then that's okay too. You just have to just follow the rounds that I'm going to give you. But yeah, just bear that in mind. Attack 30-day. Once 30-day is fixed, everything else after it becomes inaccurate. And then it just becomes easier. And then 2 at a time, and then 2 at a time, so on and so forth until the whole thing becomes accurate. All right. Now, I'm going to give you some verbiage that you can actually use in order to dispute this with the credit bureaus through the CFPB. And we're going to see that on our Google slideshow. If you're doing round 1, this is the verbiage that I'm going to recommend that you use. So round 1 late payments. I recently reviewed my credit report and noticed an account that was not reporting accurately. I had 2 late payments on an account that was in fact paid on time. The consumer reporting agencies need to report all information with complete accuracy. This account has not been late on payments. I've attached a copy of my credit report to this complaint on the following dates. You would insert the date. If it's just 1 day, just change it to just date. I'm now requesting you investigate this account and update this late payment or these late payments to be paid on time immediately. Thank you for your understanding and prompt action. If you look at my previous video or you've seen it, the verbiage is very, very similar, right? I've had people email me back. They've had success with this after a few rounds. Some of them have had to repeat it a couple times, right? But it works. If this does occur and they come back and say that it's verified, here's your round 2. I am now requesting proof of the previous investigation. I'm asking that you send your method of investigation along with all the records of who you spoke with, their business address, name, and phone number, as well as documentation that proves this account was late. If you cannot provide me with this information in 15 days, update the account to paid, never late, and send me a copy of my updated credit report. All right. In this round 2, if you like, you can also reiterate which day or days are late. Again, no more than 2 at a time. My recommendation, if you have multiple, again, attack the 31st. Do 30, because once 30 is updated, everything after it becomes inaccurate. And then you can do 2 at a time, and it becomes so much easier when you attack it in that manner. So what I'm going to do next, we're going to go over to the CFPB, and then I'm going to show you exactly how we're going to submit this complaint to the credit bureaus and anything else that we might need to look for. All right, so we're going to start by going to the CFPB, that is the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. We're going to scroll to the bottom and go to start a new complaint. If you don't have an account, you'll want to create one here. You'll sign up and verify your email address. If you have an account, you already know, click the blue link and we're going to sign in. So once you're signed in, you're going to click start a new complaint, which will be in the top right-hand corner, and it'll take you here to the submit a complaint screen. So what is this complaint about? We're going to go to credit reporting and other personal information, and then we're going to go to credit reporting. Then we're going to go next. All right, on step 2, We're going to go to improper use of your credit report. And then we're going to go to reporting company used your report improperly. Now, have you already tried to fix this problem with the company? You select yes. Did you request the information from the company? You select yes. And then what information did they request? You don't have to fill this out. It's optional. Did the company provide this information? No. And then we click next. Now, for the what happened section, we're going to use our verbiage. I already copied it. I'm going to zoom in a little bit here so that you're able to actually see it a little bit better. If you want, you can screenshot this and then copy it, save it into your notes, or put it into like a Google Documents, anything like that, Google Keep. And you're just going to make sure, insert your date, always add the month and the year. All right. And then for what would be a fair resolution, you can pretty much just take the last sentence. Now I'm requesting you investigate the account and update these payments or payment to on time immediately. So you can just copy the very last sentence. You can reiterate that exact same thing right here. Now here you want to attach your documents. I always recommend a screenshot of the late payment so they can take a look at it. And then I would also add my photo ID. Usually for this one, you don't really need all of the other documents, but if you just want to be, extra, just making sure that they can definitely not stall you out. You can add your photo ID, a screenshot of the late payment from that credit bureau. You can also add your social security card and a proof of address, which can be a utility bill. It could also be your insurance card, a bank statement, anything of that nature. The normal documents that I would recommend, you want to add those so they could be able, so they can identify you. For this one, you're probably wondering if you need to attach a screenshot from each credit bureau. I would only attach a screenshot that shows what you need to get fixed. For example, if you're trying to dispute with TransUnion, but TransUnion has conflicting information, or TransUnion is paid on time, and you're not trying to dispute both at the same time, or TransUnion, let's say, is worse off, only put the Experian one. If you're trying to get a correction from Equifax, but then TransUnion is showing information that is inaccurate, like it's not helping you or it doesn't make your case, only send the one that's going to make the case. If you have to send these separately, send them separately. But in this video, from what we're assuming, all the information is the same, and we need to make sure that we get these updated. So if everything is the same, you can send one screenshot from one credit bureau. Again, if all the information is the same and we can't compare it to anything, and we're not using that strategy to fix these late payments, you can just send one. So send that with all your information, and then we'll move on to the next step. And then here in the next step, we're going to put all of the credit bureaus. For this example, we're looking at updating this late payment for all three, right? So we're going to put Experian. The first one is fine. You would then enter last four of the social, your name as it appears on the report, and your date of birth. So you'd enter that information. And again, you want to enter your name as it appears on your credit report. Do you want to complain about another company? Yes. Next, we're going to add TransUnion. First one is fine. And we're going to repeat the exact same process as before. Have you already tried to fix the problem with the company? Yes, we did. Did you request information from the company? Yes, we did. Did the company provide this information? No, they did not. Repeat the exact same steps, guys. Nothing different here. And then your name as it appears on that credit report. And if you have multiple names or aliases, you can put those as well. Again, if it's Stephen Smith, Stephen D. Smith, Stephen Devin Smith, If all three of them show up, you could just pick one, and that's fine too. Do you want to complain about another company? Yes. And finally, we're going to get our last company here. First one that comes up is fine. Have you already tried to fix this problem with the company? Yes, we did. Did you request information from the company? Yes, we did. Optional again. Did they provide that information? No, they did not. And this one, it looks like it already tried to pre-fill for me, but sometimes you won't see the options like it just did for me. Just uncheck and check it again so that way it pulls up those options for you. All right. So we're all done. That is all our information. And now on this next step, who is submitting this complaint? I'm submitting it. I scroll down to the bottom. It's going to show your personal information. There, it's going to show you like your address, your name, your age, phone number, things of that nature. You can skip all the demographic information. You don't really have to put your age, your race, your military affiliation, your house size. All that's optional. You can just bypass that. And then you're going to hit review at the end. All right. So on the review, you're going to look at your complaint one last time. Make sure that you've attached all the information and everything is good. And then you check these last two boxes. I authorize and the information given is true to the best of my knowledge. And then you submit the complaint. When you submit the complaint, 3 complaint tabs are going to load. You don't want to refresh the screen. You don't want to go back. It can cancel your complaint. You want to wait, let them all load. You'll be receiving 3 emails with 3 different complaint numbers. They'll be from each credit bureau. Okay. Once you get those, the complaint is confirmed. It's completed. You don't need to go back to the CFPB again to get updates on your disputes. The CFPB will send you an automated message that everyone gets. It's going to say this dispute will be like resolved in 60 days. It takes 60 days for them to close it. It's usually resolved way before then. You'll normally get a response from the credit bureaus within like 7 days. They'll respond either with an update on the late payment, but if they don't update the late payment, you come back to the CFPB and then you submit the information for round 2. And I'll again zoom in a little bit so you can see that. And that is the round 2 verbiage. So you guys can screenshot that now, copy that now, and make sure that you have that. Now, if they update, you're good to go. You can restart the process with the round 1 verbiage. But this time, if you have a new report that shows you're 30 days late or you're on time, 60 days, 90 days, however long, now that's completely inaccurate. You can now do 2 at a time, right? So you would go to this one and say, hey, these 2 dates are wrong. They say 60 and 90, but I was paid on time this date. How does it jump from 60 to 90? You understand what I'm saying? Like you just add that in here. I recently reviewed a copy of my credit report. I had 2 late payments on an account that was in fact paid. That same thing. You put the dates. Then the chances of you getting those updated are highly likely. At that point, it's easy because it's a clear, blatant inaccuracy. You do those no more than 2 at a time. And even if you have a lot of these, you could really get this done in, if you do 2 a week, you had 3, you'll be done in 2 weeks, if everything goes well. If you had like 6, it may take you 3 weeks, but, in a month, that's fairly easy for getting all those late payments updated to on time. This does also work for accounts that are closed. So if you have an account that's closed, you can use the same method on those as well. It doesn't have to be an active account in order for you to update the payment history if the payment history is inaccurate. Okay? I hope this clarifies that. This was a question I was getting on the late payment videos for a very long time. So hopefully going forward, this will answer any future questions about late payments and also give you the most up-to-date verbiage on this. So I hope this was very helpful for you guys. Thank you for your time. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you for your patronage and all your support. You guys have a wonderful day.